Is this the perfect watercolor palette? Maybe. Today I'm going to use 5 colors from my Schmincke basic set, and we're going to paint an abstract landscape full of emotion and color harmony and beautiful autumn colors. Let's get started. So today we're going to be working in a bit of a limited palette. I've pulled out 5 colors of my Schmincke tube set. I've got the yellow ochre, cadmium yellow light, the English vermilion, ultramarine, and sepia colors. So that's what we're going to be working with today. I've got a bunch, the set comes with 12 colors. So I'm going to just kind of be switching them out for the next few videos and kind of making different creation, like different palettes to see what we can achieve, different colors, and just sort of playing around with this idea of mixing up this palette a little bit to fit our needs. So let's get started. Okay, let's start off with some marks. I'm using the HB pencil today. Something a little harder than the 6B. So the 6B can get a little smeary. I'm just going to make some marks through the page here. Okay. So let's start up here at the top and spread this down a little bit, kind of randomly. We're going to be working with this number 6 quill from my Master's Touch. I think that's Hobby Lobby. I think that's where I got this brush. Or maybe I ordered it online. I don't remember. Let's start off with a little bit, getting paint on our fingers, a little bit of this ultramarine. So I want to be pretty, I want these washes to be light so that they blend together. Okay, that's way too much brown. I'm mixing up a little bit of the sepia because I want sort of like something a little darker here. Okay, so I'm just going to come in and just kind of, I don't even know what I want it to do. I think I kind of want it to go like something like that. And I'm going to mix in a little bit of more ultramarine. I'm just going to continue mixing in that well. Maybe do a little mixing on the paper. I wanted to use this brush because it holds a lot of paint. What happens if I kind of want that, that crisp, autumny looking sky. What happens if we mix a little bit of this sort of yellow and make it a little green? This brush holds a lot of water. So what we want is, what I'm going for is I want these colors to blend really well together. I think I need to, let's stick this tape under here and see if we can get it to move a little bit. Give us a little bit of motion. I think that's way too much yellow though. I really thought that was going to be a lot more subtle. So kind of just thinking about a new way to apply the paint. I'm okay if it combines a little bit and makes some green. Green is okay. What if we mixed in a little bit of this English red or Venetian red in here as well? This one's not going to be as dark as our last one, I don't think. Do you want to kind of come in and maybe... Why do I feel like I'm just making a mess? I feel like I'm just making a mess here. I guess we're just going to have to see how it dries. But I know that I'm also going to want like some brighter tones down here at the bottom. I'll just go ahead and do that now. Okay, let's let this dry and see what happens. See if it, do I want to add some water to it? I'm going to add a little bit of water. Maybe we can tilt it a little bit this way. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let it kind of run around there a little bit. Okay, let's let this dry. We'll see what happens. Okay, I kind of like it. I kind of like what's going on there. It's pretty subtle, but I kind of like it. Okay, let's take our brush, clean water. I'm just going to put down some sort of random marks because I want the watercolor to pick up some of the marks in some of the spots, but not in all the spots. Okay, so I kind of want this to be more of a, I need to spray these down a little bit. Let's come in with the yellow ochre. I'm just going to keep blending into this mix over here. Let's add a little sepia. Gotta be careful with that sepia. It's pretty strong. The thing that's wonderful about the Schmincke colors is that they don't tend to make mud. I know that sounds weird, but they're pretty good about not making muddy colors. They blend very well together. Let's color shaper down a little bit. You might notice it's a little brighter in here today. I brought one of my lights from my studio in to give me a little bit more light because it's super dark so quickly here. And where my window is, it doesn't really get a lot of light. So we had to bring in a new light. Hopefully it works out pretty well. Let's put some marks in there with our stylus. Keep the energy up. I think these colors are going to be pretty fun to work with. Again, we're still working on our first wash, so we're doing, it's pretty light still. I don't want to overdo it. I think I want some of that. See if we can make some of that purpley color that I love so much. The purpley brown color. Just sort of in here. Oh, that's nice. And I'm kind of liking working wet into wet recently. Really trying to get a grasp on it because I'm gonna be real honest, I haven't really got a grasp on it yet. So this is what this next few videos are going to be about. Mixing new palettes, finding new ways to use our colors that we already have. I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse because I keep saying it, but I think it's really important to use what you already have and not to think that you can't make work with what you already have. And finding new color palettes is a fun thing to do, right? Okay, let's let this dry. Okay, I don't really like what's going on there, so I'm going to spritz it down a little bit. We're going to come in with a little light mix of this purpley color, and I'm just going to kind of put it through, like right here. There's some bloomy edges there that I didn't like. I'm not a big fan of bloomy images, or bloomy, you know, when the watercolor blooms like that. I just think I don't like it. And that's probably way too much, but we'll make it work. I always have to remember to go in just a little darker than I originally think I do because everything dries so much darker. Let's add just a little bit more of the sepia mix up here at the top. Maybe, I know I just got rid of all that white space, but okay, I'm not going to fuss with that anymore. I think it looks good. Maybe we need to, does it need some, maybe we can lift some colors here. And when we lift, we just get a clean brush and just sort of take away some of the color. I think that's good. I'm going to leave it right there. Let's talk about this bottom part now. I think I want to add in, that brush holds so much water. More yellow ochre. I think I like it with the sepia. What I made down here just sort of disappeared. This brush is really fun though. I was actually looking at ordering another one. And I was like, I think I bought one already. So I didn't end up ordering one. I actually made the effort to look and make sure that I didn't have one already. Oh, I like that shape. I think that's a good shape. What if we mixed in a little bit of orange into this? And a little bit more sepia. What are we gonna get? What of a darker color? I like this idea of just mixing within the palette. And we are doing a little bit of a thicker mix now, because I just kind of want it to be, I'm kind of trying to make shapes that make sense within the piece. Without covering it all up. Let's add a little bit more sepia to this. Maybe a little blue. Oh, maybe not. Oh, maybe. No, I think we need more sepia. I think I want it to be more sepia than anything else. Let's just put sort of like that. Where's my little... And I think maybe just a little dry brush through there. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'm gonna make a thicker mix of this ochre with just a little bit of this mix up here to kind of bring through here. I'm still wanting to add a bit more color and a bit more shape in here. I'm gonna scrape back in. I had a little bit of some sienna color here on my palette knife. You can see it right there. So I guess we're gonna add some of that color in because we can't just leave one little spot of it. That doesn't work. Okay. Make it a little thicker. Do I want to do that? I think I want, actually, I think I want more of that sort of purpley color. Like up there. Maybe in the, oh, that looks nice. What if we brought like that color through here just a little bit? You're going to see some granulation because the ultramarine is a somewhat granulating color. It's not like the super granulating, but you're going to see a little bit of that. I like bringing that down a little bit. Let's add in, I like how you can get some pretty thin marks with this brush, which is kind of shocking because it's so big. Ooh, that was a good mark. I like that. Okay. Okay, I mixed up a little bit of an olive green here by combining the ochre, ultramarine, and a little bit of yellow. Kind of give us this, and I think I put some sepia in there too. Just to kind of give us this sort of green color. I just kind of want a little bit. I feel like it might need just a little bit of a different color through here, maybe. And maybe up here a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too complicated. I don't want to keep covering up things that I make. Let's color shape her a little bit and see what happens. What if we put a little bit of that green color up here too? Almost like a little hedgerow kind of coming through there. Okay, I don't like, well, that looks like a shark. No sharks in the landscapes, please. No land sharks. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna add just a little bit of this blue. Just want a little bit of it to reflect sort of, I don't know, it's not the same blue. It's not even close. I don't know. I might stop there, maybe. I sort of like what's going on here, but what if we... I want to add some lighter colors, but I think I'm going to do that with the Caran d'Ache, I think. So I've already put 3 layers of watercolor down. And I don't want it to get too jumbled. But I like what's going on here. I think it's kind of interesting. Okay, let's come in with a little bit of Caran d'Ache. I'm going to get a little wet. And I just want to put some marks through here. Okay, that might be too close. That might be too much of a match. Oh, I like that color. That looks like... Oh, where's that color? It feels like it's this... What is that? Like canary yellow? Is that what it's called? It broke. Oh, Sahara. It feels like that color might be kind of fun to put in. Maybe if we just sort of... It feels a little bit more orangey though. Maybe it's more of this orangish yellow. It might be. That might be a good color. Oh, I like that. That's almost a perfect match. I just want to add some like highlighty areas. Not sure how much I want to add though. Oh, big giant palette knife. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of this orangish yellow through here. Not sure if it makes sense there, but it kind of felt like it wanted to be there. Let's scrape some of that away so we can see the marks underneath. I like that. It's bringing some good energy in there. What to do down here? Got some olive, dark olive. Sometimes it's hard with the Caran d'Ache. I feel like sometimes I make the same marks because they're not very sharp, right? I don't want too much of that. I think it's a good color. That's a nice little pop. Here's a color I've never used, the lilac. see what that does. Like, I don't think I've ever picked that crayon up. I mean, I guess I did because I swatched them, but maybe there's just some of this coming through here. Maybe. Maybe that makes sense. I'm going to put a little bit up here. Get a little more wet. It's kind of picking up the texture of the paper a little bit. I think it might need also maybe some of the sanguine color next to it. Okay. Okay, so some people were asking how I put the Caran d'Ache onto the deli paper. I usually use the tin side too, so I get a smooth application. My table is not smooth. It's covered in goo. But yeah, this is all I do. Pretty simple. I'm going to do some lines just through here. And you can do this with any color, obviously. I just like black marks. I'm a big fan of black marks. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And I like making black marks. Let's make a mark going this way. And then I think I want to do one coming down this way. Kind of like that. And then maybe one more coming. Ooh, I got a little aggressive there with my paper. Okay. Last thing I want to do is come in with the Pit Pastel or Pit Charcoal and make a mark through here. So I like a definition line up there at the top. What else do we want to do? I want to come back in with a little bit of pencil mark here, I think. And again, this is just the HB. I like pencil marks. I don't add them enough to my work. Sometimes I add them in the beginning. But I think they can be very, very useful for creating some subtle energy throughout the piece that you wouldn't see unless you were like directly in front of it. I always like having a nice surprise, like when you look at something and there's a really cool texture. What else? Okay, I want to add some tinted charcoal in the lavender, just a little bit. Spritz down a little bit, get out our mesh strainer. Just thought it needs just a little texture through here. Maybe a lot of texture, not quite sure. Spritz from above. Yeah, I think that's good. Do I want to add more? I might want to add a little bit more through here. I just love how this looks. Many ways to add texture to work. This is just one of them. Okay. I'm going to stop there and we'll dry it and put a matte on it. Okay, here it is with the matte. I really like this. I like it. I like I love the mixing of the watercolors on the paper and letting them sort of do their thing and blend together. Some really fun granulation going on up here in these clouds, which I think is fabulous. And I like all the layers. I know I cover up things. Please don't be mad at me. It just is what it is. I mean, you cannot get attached to your layers. Otherwise, you will make a one-layer painting. I really like the purple. Like that lilac color is really nice, and it mixes well with that orangish yellow and the green. Love the tinted charcoal marks and the black marks. I think this has a really nice flow to it. Yeah, and I like the limited palette. So, yeah, next one we're going to be painting in a different version of what we did today in different watercolor to make some mixed media marks. But yeah, I think this turned out well, and I'm pretty happy with all of the drawn-in marks, and it's just got a lot of nice layers to it, which I really love. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Let me know in the comments what you might want to see next. Like, should we paint something different? I'm always a landscape painter, but maybe we should do this palette in like a more abstract form using this palette. That might be kind of fun. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do like a 4 study, like a 4 little study. Let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.